This is what was wrong in wrestling at that time that gave rise to ECW. You had goons and gobbledygookers and deans and, you know, like every incarnation of like Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Like it really looked like a bunch of comic book nerds just like sort of vomited all of this stuff up.
The first match, Tio Savio. I've always got to call him Tio Savio. I've spoken to Savio a few times. He's a really cool dude. Versus,
great guy.
Versus Waylon Mercy. For those who don't know, Danny Spivey. Just like you had tenure with the WWF previously, and then that slate was wiped straight clean, never referenced beforehand, then you're a brand new character. Do you want to talk about the match itself, or should we talk... I think we're going to focus on Danny here, but do you want to talk about the match itself first?
Yeah, the one takeaway for me, like watching it again, because I know these guys, right? And I'm watching it, and I didn't remember seeing it back then as pronounced, but now, like, I don't know if you've seen Danny lately. He's really hobbled, like his legs really bad, right? Knees, big guy like that. You can see it in this match. You know, like you can see him really. You know, he's trying his best, and he's doing a decent job of it. But you can see his legs are going, and that was the thing that really came over to me. Like if you like watch, like, he's really given the effort to like hitting the ropes and things. And I mean, when your knees are bad like that, it's just it's not a question of, like I always say, like when I'm telling kids in seminars, if I came up and took a baseball bat and cracked you in the knee, you just had knee surgery. Yep. And I said to you, hey, James, there's $10 million on the other side of this room. If you can get there in 3 seconds, it's yours. You're going to try like hell, but I guarantee you're not getting there. You know, it's not a question of you have the heart or whatever. If the body won't respond, it won't respond. And I could see, again, I don't know if it's that pronounced to the average viewer watching it, but like I'm sure that the hardcore fans, the hard-nosed fans that watch all the time, and certainly to our trained eye, you can really see he's hampered. And what shocked me with it was the finish, because it looked to me like they were, and I thought they did a great job, he and Savio. It appeared that this was going to be a Waylon Mercy win, right? And then out of no place, and Moose told me last night that he was undefeated going into that match, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
And so he comes in and loses. So now, was he gone shortly after that?
He's gone. I actually wrote it down somewhere. In fact, it might be on the next page. Bear with me. It is, I believe, within 2 weeks he's gone. Yeah. This is, I think, his last pay-per-view ever. And after this, he just retires. He does like one more match in like 2015 as a little thing. I was looking out because I knew that he was very injured, and that's why his run was so short in the WWF as Waylon Mercy. But the character, so it's Max Cady from Cape Fear, right? I say that as someone who's never seen Cape Fear, but I know the name of it. I should watch it.
Great movie. Yeah, great movie. Remake, by the way.
The remake, yeah. That's 91? It's something
probably
like
right in that range, sure. Yes. Great movie.
Waylon Mercy is a character. Forget about the film, but did you think it worked for wrestling because it's the whole Southern drawl, you know what I mean, kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it looked, because again, Danny Spivey was pretty prolific in the business, right? It's not like he's some unknown. And to me, this is what was wrong in wrestling at that time that gave rise to ECW. You had goons and gobbledygookers and deans and, you know, like every incarnation of like Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Like it really looked like a bunch of comic book nerds just like sort of vomited all of this stuff up. Like these were not, I don't know your taste that well. For me, I grew up watching wrestling. That was doing nothing to draw me to the table. It was turning me off. And which again is why I gravitated towards like the NWA and WCW. And then later with ECW, you know, this was like suddenly our baby. We could make this into our image of what we see and what we want. And like for Danny, I just, you know, in typical professional fashion, he went out and tried to make that work. You know, but look, my big takeaway in watching the In Your House last night was when you're looking at ringside, like comparative to like what you see today as fans. And then you say in the back facing the hard cam, it's all young girls sitting out there. And my guess is like these young girls are not watching this and saying, oh, this is the guy from the movie or whatever. It's just, they're not really sure. They just know he's like sort of like a weird guy and, you know, maybe sociopathic. Some of them might be thinking, but the idea that even a movie as big as Cape Fear, the remake was at that time with De Niro, The idea that that's just going to be ubiquitous in the Ethernet, everybody's going to get this, I think is a big stretch. And, the Dean character, right? 7 PhDs. Well, anybody that's an educator knows like 7 PhDs would be, pretty hard to pull off, no matter how brilliant you are. I think Albert Einstein had one. So, it's, again, just the cornballiness of it.